What's up, everybody? B2, and I'm checking in with a little bit of Black Desert Mobile. Now, this is a game that I've played quite a bit of over, I would say, I don't know, I haven't played in probably a year and a half, right around February of last year. But I can tell you this, the online version was incredible. It was immense. I've watched some videos on YouTube about this, and this will be a game that I play a lot of coming up. We're super stoked about this, and if you can see in the background, like what you see for graphics is what you're going to see on your iPad or your phone or your tablet or whatever. I'm going to play on the iOS platform, but you can see there's different classes, and I'm going to go over those real quick and just tell you what my experience was on the online version. Talk a little bit about the map, about why you want to pre-register and what the pre-register items are for. So you can see in the background, like huge, you can grow stuff. There's things for that. These are some of the different classes that are going on, which is what I played most before. You can also level up things like fishing, which is super cool. You can catch different items out of the different lakes around the world or oceans. You can get on boats and travel. Like you can travel as an alliance on here and go places. It's pretty immense. I can't imagine how big they're going to make it for the phone or how much they've expanded it, but I'm pretty stoked about that. So on the mobile, like they're talking about the titles and everything on there. The world, like this is what you've seen on some of the towns. Now inside of the towns, there's really diverse quest lines. There's things to get into. This Blackstones things, I won't ruin it all, but the names are exactly the same. Valencia, the Calphionians, there's gosh, man, like it would take you a half an hour to ride from one end of the map to the other in the old version. Like if you went down the west side versus like the northeast side, there was just like logging camps and just everything to do on the way. Hundreds and hundreds of quest lines to get rewards. Probably one of the, it kind of reminds me of Warcraft a little bit. Back in the day, we used to play that in the mid-2000s and have a big group. It's very similar to that. I'm going to love it. But the pre-order drops on December 11th, and you're going to want to get in and pre-register at the top here on this button. Let them email you some stuff, because the rewards here on the Facebook, when you look, are going to give you some Blackstones and some gear. It looks like they're going to give you a horse, which is going to save you a ton of money. So you might as well pre-register regardless, and get that knocked out, right? So then on the classes here, this is the fun part, right? So obviously Warrior, they're pretty well rounded as far as melee goes. They're not totally offensive, but like a Giant's going to be, but they're not really defensive orientated like a Valkyrie would be. And I'm going to explain what they do and show you those as well. But Warriors are all around good class. It's going to level quick. You're going to be able to beat some things with kind of some bursty damage. They also have some things to immobilize foes so that you can like hamstring them, make them walk slower and then dodge to certain areas. Really good for that. The Ranger is just what you would expect from a Ranger. They're a ranged class. They don't have a lot of upfront melee stuff, but when you do, the cool thing about a Ranger is if you get too close, they can do this kick that's like a knockback, and then boom, re-engage with the arrow right there. So pretty fun class to play. Some unique stuff, and of course, if you travel in a party and do quest lines together, then you can really do some serious damage to foes. Whether you get into PvP or whether you just stay with the PvE. And for those that are not familiar, PvP is player versus player. PvE is player versus environment, right? So if you're traveling around killing world bosses and stuff, you're gonna want to have certain classes together to do different types of damage. Now this game is really cool too. When you die, you keep all your stuff. You just gotta run back and get it. It does knock you back, at least in the Black Desert Online. If you die without having a particular item on you, then you would lose stuff. But there's ways around that, and I'm sure they're going to make it a little bit pay to play, right? I don't know about pay to win. I haven't, without dropping the pre-order, I don't know. But you're going to want to do the minimum like payment to get in and access some of the early tier stuff. Wouldn't recommend spending more than like $10 a month on it. Again, this is entertainment, right? So if you're going to spend $10 on a game like this, it would be the same as going and seeing a 2-hour movie, except you could play this all month long for 2 hours a day if you wanted to. So you could put 30 hours in for the same price. So when I look at it in those terms, $10 wouldn't be that much. Now, I don't know if they're going to make it where you have to pay something or it's going to be free and then you get bonuses from that, right? Now, there's always going to be the pay to win element, and so you're going to run into powerful players. Ranger would be self-sustaining. That one was going to level pretty quick as well. Then if you go in here, the Giant, this is like the truly heavy damage dealers just smash mouth in your face, uppercuts all day long, right? And they're totally melee on here. Like they have some really cool whirlwind moves, but not like the whirlwind like you would see in like Gauntlet where he's just spinning, or like League of Legends where Garand just kind of spins in circles. I'm talking about like diagonal spins with like karate stuff, like just some sick graphics for playing a video game on a phone. Like I just can't wait for this. This is going to be your quickest damage. It's going to be a really fast leveler, but when you run out of health or stamina, it's going to take you a while to regenerate, so you're going to have to constantly be making like potions and stuff to heal up, or buying stuff. Like it's a very cost heavy thing, and you don't want to get into that, right? And so one weapon upgrade on this guy is going to make your biggest difference. And so if you're just on the cusp of leveling, you're going to fall behind in a little bit of DPS, but still going to be able to output a lot. They're very, very like if a Valkyrie's in your group and they support together, the Valkyrie's going to be able to throw some really cool stuff to help the guy out. The next one, which is my favorite, absolute favorite, is a witch, but you're going to be a glass cannon. You're going to be able to throw out damage unlike anybody else, but if an enemy gets a hold of you, like so the giants, for instance, can grab opponents and then like power bomb them like a suplex, like a wrestling move. And when a giant grabs a hold of a witch, GG, right? It's just done. But for a witch, you can control the battlefield and the way things move with lightning. So you can chain lightning through multiple enemies to do broader damage. There's like some really cool ice stuff to just freeze people, so you can freeze them while everyone else just pounds on them. The witch is very, very cool, and they have like a blink spell where you can teleport small distances on a cooldown. Just really, really fun to play. But yeah, this is going to be one of your harder ones to jump through, and like early game, everyone's going to XP quick and level and everything, but when you get in the mid range, you're going to struggle with the witch a little bit unless you're really good at it. And I don't know how that's going to translate from a keyboard and a mouse over to a phone, right? So last one is going to be the Valkyrie, and this is like, I hate to call it support because it's not really support. At higher levels in big group fights, you have to have a Valkyrie because they're going to be able to soak up some damage, but they're not, their holy powers, like they just have a lot of cool stuff. So if you like to be that tanky melee damage dealer on the battlefield, like Valkyrie's going to be it for you. Now all of them can sustain a certain amount of damage, but the Valkyrie has some really cool stuff in there too. A matter of fact, at last game I played, I started as a giant, then I went to a witch, and then I went to a Valkyrie, and I wanted to say, I just kind of, it's been a while, but I dodged between Valkyrie and witch, but the witch just overall, it just grabbed me and pulled me in, right? So as far as combat, like I don't want to watch the combat videos. You can do that on your own. Not a big deal, but like camp life, you can build a camp and farm stuff. You can put nodes into the game where at different cities or different outposts, you can have guys mining to get resources to build bigger stuff. Like this is one of the most exciting features, because if you're not a heavy PvP or PvE, you can become like a merchant and sell things on their market that they have, which is just immense. There's always stuff for sale. There's different markets around the world. So even if one player is heavy in one area, you can go to a different area of the map and go on that different market. I think there's one in Calpheon and there's one in Valencia. If the mobile game echoes the online version. But this is a really cool thing on here. If you go to world bosses, they kind of bring them on like Kazarka weapons and different things. There's probably, gosh, there was like 15 different world bosses on timers, and they would pop up randomly within a certain window. So you'd always know where to be on the map if you wanted to fight, and every single person can fight. If there's like 40 people there, then you can flag up for PvP and hustle out some people who are enemies while they're fighting a world boss. Like, it's chaotic, and I love it, and you will love that too about this game. Like, there's just so many options. But they drop pieces of gear or gear fragments or components of different things to make, and so you want to be able to get on this world boss rotation, and then you know, like, hey, if I got to eat dinner at 6, but then at 9 o'clock the boss is popping, then you're going to want to be online and ready to go in that area, log in, boom, get the boss fight. You'll see people camping them all the time and making like you'll see people with their hands like crafting stuff. It's like they grab all their components and go craft, waiting for world bosses and stuff. Like, so there's really a lot of stuff in game you can do while you're waiting to move around. Very cool stuff. So nodes in Siege Wars. So like when you win nodes, they do certain things for your alliances or your guild. Basically, you can do guild on guild PvP. You can have like you can. So it's really cool is that you can make an outpost and put up these barriers and have cannons and guys manning the cannons, and they shoot so far. You can have elephant riders come in to break the barriers down. Like, it's super fun, man. I'm telling you, like, this is going to be the game to play in 2020. Black Desert Mobile is going to take over the mobile gaming for this. You heard it on my channel first. I'm telling you, pre-order this, get the free registration stuff, and then while you're on Christmas vacation from school, from uni or whatever too, you can just play this and get leveled up, because once you get to 50, 60, 70, up at the higher levels, and I don't know exactly how they're going to do the levels for mobile. I'd imagine it's going to be the same. When you get to the higher levels, there's just so much fun, and there's so many things you can do. You can stop grinding, because at that point, like, you know, yeah, a level's a big difference, but as the way skills unlock, like if you're 10 levels behind somebody, yeah, you're going to get owned by them, but even being that far behind, there's still so much you can do in the game besides just run around and fight each other. You know, if you're like me, I love the building component of it and just the way things fit together, and Black Desert's just done an amazing job on here. Customizing, you can do all the customizing for hair, ears, I mean, outfits. Like, you could be in a town with 400 people in it, and everyone's going to look different. Like, there's just so many options for it in here. It's what keeps the game, I think, a little bit fresh, a little bit exciting. And then here's where you would plug in at the bottom on your pre-registration. I would recommend doing that even if you don't think you're going to play. Do that, because let's say May and June rolls around and Black Desert does take over, and it's just there's millions of people playing it, because it's just like Warcraft, but it's going to be on steroids, plus it's going to be on mobile, which Warcraft hasn't done. This is going to be the game to play. Warlords of Eternum, all the other little chumpy games that are out there, like this will take it over, I promise you. So pre-register, get the rewards, and then if you don't play till May, at least you have the rewards. So anyways, B2, I hope you guys have enjoyed the video and just a quick walkthrough of the webpage and what to expect from the game. As the game drops, I'm going to upload this. Lots more videos, probably 2-3 a week. We're going to start an alliance as soon as we can. I probably won't run an alliance, but I'll probably be able to get you the viewers into one. I think you can have like 50 or 100 people, something ridiculous in your alliance to you know, to boost together to provide mats for different things. So anyway, hope you enjoyed it, and we'll talk soon. See ya.